Sunny and the Journey to the Glowing Volcano. Episode 2, The Rope Bridge and the Forest Keeper. The morning light filtered softly through the canopy, and a cool mist still danced above the forest floor. Sunny padded quietly along a winding trail, guided by the faint glow of the mysterious map tucked under his paw. As the trees began to thin, the sound of rushing water reached his ears, a low, distant roar that made his heart flutter with curiosity. Something new, something big, was just ahead. When Sunny reached the edge of the ravine, he stopped in his tracks, eyes wide. Before him stretched a rope bridge, old and creaky, with fraying ropes and wooden planks that looked as though they hadn't been touched in years. It swayed gently in the breeze like a sleepy snake in the wind. Far, far below, a wild river crashed over jagged rocks, its white foam flashing like lightning between the shadows. Taking a deep breath, Sunny placed one paw on the first wooden plank. It groaned under his weight. With each step, the bridge swayed and creaked, sending little jolts of fear up his spine. He kept his eyes ahead and whispered bravely to himself, "Just don't look down, Sunny." One paw at a time. The wind tugged at his red scarf as he moved slowly forward, determined to reach the other side. Halfway across, just as Sunny began to find his rhythm, a deep and steady voice called out, echoing across the ravine. "Not many dare cross this bridge." Sunny froze, startled, his ears shooting up. At the far end of the bridge stood an old turtle, holding a flickering lantern that cast warm light across his weathered shell. His presence was calm, ancient, like the forest itself had taken shape and learned to speak. Carefully, Sunny reached the other side and gave a respectful bow. "Hello, sir. I'm Sunny," he said with polite cheer. The turtle's wrinkled mouth curled into a gentle smile. "I am Tork," he replied, "keeper of this forest's forgotten paths, and it seems you've already found your way farther than most." There was a quiet strength in his voice that made Sunny feel both safe and curious. Tork led Sunny to a peaceful corner beneath a twisted old tree, where a wooden bench sat among soft moss. "Few creatures come this far," Tork said, settling down with a slow breath. "That glowing map you carry, it's not a toy or a riddle for fun. The volcano it points to is real, and it holds power and danger." Sunny listened closely, feeling the weight of his journey grow heavier and more real. With a rustle of his pouch, Tork pulled out a weathered piece of parchment, curled at the edges and glowing faintly like Sunny's map. "Long ago, this piece came into my care. I've kept it safe, waiting for the right pause to carry it forward." His eyes sparkled as he handed it over, like he had finally found what he'd been waiting for. Sunny gently unrolled the parchment and placed it beside his own. To his amazement, the lines and markings aligned perfectly. The glowing paths shimmered and pulsed, stretching into new directions, deep into the heart of the forest. His journey had just grown longer, more mysterious, and even more exciting. Tork's voice lowered as he placed a gentle hand on Sunny's shoulder. "Before you go," he said, "know this. The trail ahead is full of challenges, puzzles to test your mind, guardians that won't be so kind, and truths you may not yet understand." Sunny's heart pounded in his chest, but his voice was clear. "I still want to go." Tork chuckled softly, the sound like a stream over old stones. "Then take this," he said, pulling a small compass from his belt. It shimmered silver in the light, with a tiny emerald needle that never stopped pointing forward. When you feel lost or unsure, this will help guide you, not just through the forest, but through the doubts inside you too. Sunny tucked the compass into his backpack carefully, as though it were made of moonlight. He turned and looked back at the rope bridge, now quiet behind him. So much had changed in just one crossing. With a breath full of courage, he turned again to face the path ahead. The trail grew narrower and the trees leaned closer. Strange vines draped from high branches, and unfamiliar bird calls echoed between the trunks. The sunlight dimmed, replaced by shadows that shifted as if they were watching. Adventure waited beyond every leaf. Behind him, Tork stood still, his lantern casting a final golden glow. "Good luck, little one," he whispered into the breeze. For a moment, the lantern brightened, as if sending a blessing through the fog. Then the light faded, and he disappeared into the mist. Sunny moved carefully now, each step guided by the soft pulse of the glowing map tucked in his pack. The compass pressed gently against his chest, ticking with quiet purpose. He didn't know exactly what lay ahead, but he knew he wasn't walking blindly. This was just the beginning. The path curled deep into mystery. But now Sunny had more than just a map. He had a new piece of the puzzle and a friend who believed in him. The forest opened its arms to his courage, and the unknown no longer felt so lonely.